Okay, we should be going. I believe so. Hey everyone, Ethan here, and welcome to my fourth broadcast on recreating the Pokemon Yellow sprites in Minecraft. This time, we are going to be doing the Caterpie line, which, as you might even be able to see down there, I marked my starting points for each of the three Pokemon so that I don't have to hastily try to count it out in my program beforehand. Just to let things flow a little bit better. Speaking of other things that I did off stream, I set up at least some of the lights so that now the pixel art looks a lot better at nighttime. So now we're gonna stay at midnight the entire time. I haven't done all of it. I've done all that is rendered here, but if I go a little more, like, you'll eventually see that what's starting to be rendered in is I've not done yet, but at the very least for a while we're good. And it's not like too taxing of a process, so I should be able to keep up with it pretty well. So this time it's the Caterpie line, which for Caterpie and Metapod, they use the same color scheme as the Bulbasaur line, so it's like the dark green and the lighter green. Whereas Butterfree, for some reason, uses a completely different color palette and instead uses the same color palette as the Squirtle line. So that's going to be like the other blues right here. Probably going to be a shorter stream today. Because the bugs don't take usually as long as and as of right now, I would like to kind of keep the Pokemon order more concise. Things are going to get a bit messy once we kind of get into like the 2 evolution lines or like the 2 stage lines and then even the standalone Pokemon. But at least for now, this is how we're going to do things, at least until the Pidgey line. So, without further ado, I think that we should get started. So, like I said, I marked the bottom right of Caterpie. So, it's just our 4 basic colors as usual, and it should look very familiar for when we did the Bulbasaur one. The majority of this stream is probably going to be doing Butterfree, but we'll see how that goes. I actually wouldn't even be surprised if Metapod, if Caterpie took longer than Metapod. That's what I'm trying to say. So when it comes to the Caterpie line, I've actually always vastly preferred Butterfree to Beedrill. But funnily enough, I've never actually used Butterfree in a playthrough, whereas I have used Beedrill in a playthrough of Blue, which I don't remember how it was exactly, but I do remember it being like decent, although at the time I made a poor decision when leveling it up, and I originally knew Twin Needle, which is the 2-hit 25 power bug move, and there's like 3 bug moves in Gen 1, so it's like that's a rarity. And then I think I unlearned that for Pin Missile. Either that or I did the other way around. I don't know. Whichever one. Like, Pin Missile is like 2 to 5 hits, but it's like 13 power. I think Twin Needle probably is the better option, so that's the one I probably ended up deleting. But I think my strategy with it was like, I had Sword Stance on it because it could actually learn Sword Stance, so. But either way, I would like to use Butterfree someday, although I'm not sure how things are going to line up when it comes to my Pokemon video series, because I have already played all of the Kanto games, and that's where the Caterpie line is primarily found. And as we get further and further into the series, there's just going to be so many other Pokemon that I'm able to use that I'd probably prefer to use. So and actually, really quick, I'm going to turn this music down just a little bit. There, that's a lot better for me. If it's too quiet at some point, I can turn it up on the stream end, but yeah, it was a little too loud for me. But yeah, Caterpie's always been, the Caterpie line, I should say, has always been one of my more favorite, like regional bug forms, although it's definitely not my favorite. I think that probably has to go to the Grubbin line. And also the Swaddle line is pretty good. This goes up 4. Okay. And this goes all the way down. So this, working on right now, is Caterpie's tail. Which we're actually almost at the top of it already. Which I kind of forget that Caterpie has a tail. Like, it's just not really something I think about. But dude has a tail. Okay. Did I make a mistake here? These 2, then 1. Oh yeah, okay. The mistake's right here. If I do that, that, and that connects with that perfectly, then that's diagonal 1. You can actually knock out the entirety of the tail pretty much immediately, because the rest of this is just white. Okay, and I could fill this in too, probably. So I gotta find out where I am. Okay, that part's actually filled in. I didn't realize I did that. Well, except for that part. Yeah, okay. And then this down here. There we go. So it seems like the VODs of this stream have been like actually getting a little bit of traction, which is fantastic to see. I've been super happy about that, and it's been super like motivating to do this more. Especially since like the main reason I wanted to do this was not for the streaming aspect of it, but was just because I wanted to do this project, and I figured that it could be potentially fun or interesting to stream the whole thing. And I completely lost my place. Where am I? Okay, I see. Okay. That goes up there. There's one of those there. There we go. Caterpie has his little, like, the circle patterns on his, I don't know. What is the bug's, like, thorax? Does that work with every bug? I don't know. I'm not super well versed in bugs. But Caterpie's cool. Okay, so that's up 2 there. That's all set there. Yeah, okay. So this is its, like, the upper part of its body close to where its face is. Funnily enough, I'm actually not going to have to move the image around, like, at all, because Caterpie is so small to where I could see the entire thing in one zoomed in, I guess, part. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope that's right. 1, 2, and go up 3. And then that should connect with there. Okay. Just got some dark green connectors. Okay, I said I wouldn't do the face. I'm not going up any more than that. That's like the side of its face. I guess technically this part right here is its mouth, but like it's like I don't know. It makes more sense to do this now. Okay, now continuing back down. Oops. Got 3. And there's like some funky pattern here. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Where's the... Okay, I'm like way off. What's going on here? Okay. So this is supposed to be over. So I think I made a big mistake. That's up, that's fine. This is over from that, that's fine. The border part, yeah, okay. So this is just supposed to be over more. I don't know how I messed this up. I messed it up, and I think it's unfortunately going to be a bit costly. But, I mean, the good thing is that Caterpie's small, so hopefully the adjustments won't be too dire. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to delete all this, so that's my bad. And there's the, at least one minimum required glass break of the stream. I'll keep it on me because I'll probably need it again. Okay, let's actually do this right this time. So that aligns with that. Okay. There's a black here, or there's a dark green here, black here. Then we go up 1, and then 1, 2, 3. And that goes over like that. Like that. Like that and like that. Yeah, okay. This is looking a lot more correct. Okay, yeah, that goes there. And the circle pattern goes there. Okay. The rest of this should just be filled in with light green. Okay. That's a lot better. Still not caught up because I did quite a decent bit of bordering, but it'll be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. That kind of goes up. Okay. I'm going to try to connect this as soon as possible so that I can tell if I messed up or not. Okay, here's the funky pattern, which actually is what led me to discovering that I had messed up before. Oops, that's incorrect. And that should connect there nicely. Yeah, okay. Also, I did not know that this variation of Marnie's theme was existed, but I actually quite like it. At least I think it's Marnie's theme. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm second guessing myself now. Okay, and this is 4, and then this is 2. Speaking of well, I was gonna say speaking of Marnie, then I was gonna mention Journey Together, but Marnie's not in Journey Together, but Hop is, which is I guess what made me think of it. But that's coming out soon. That'll be out. Oh, I forgot a green here. What's today? The 19th. So if I stream this time next week, it wouldn't be out yet, but it'd be very close to being out because I believe it comes out the 28th. There we go. Okay, we're pretty much back on track now. So this part right here is its mouth. And now we're going up to the head. But I'm good with working on the head now because I actually don't have anything else to work on. Alright, we're looking good here. We're pretty much at the apex. And now we're going to start working our way down. And everything else here is dark. Okay. And then I'll do the rest of the outline before I move on to like the eye and the details and stuff, which there isn't a lot of details. Okay, and then this should connect with here nicely. Yeah. And everything from here just kind of connects like that. And then, whoa, where am I? Got this. Got a little more border here. This looks good. And then the only thing left is the eye. The eye is like, I was about to say very symmetrical, and then I realized that there's that part there, but it's close to being symmetrical. That's the outline. That's like the exact middle. Caterpie probably has the most detailed eye out of any Pokemon I've done so far. Up here, and then black is up here, and then the rest is just like green. Well, Caterpie really said you think that you're going to complete me faster than the other Pokemon? The other first stage Pokemon? Well, you're wrong. Because that was pretty much exactly 20 minutes. And I guess comparatively, it's probably about the size of Bulbasaur. So that's Caterpie done. And we're pretty much ready to move on right to Metapod, which should be a super quick changeover that I'm not even going to throw up the Be Right Back screen because it's as simple as this. Perfect. And just like that, we're ready to go. So Metapod is a very vertical Pokemon. Like, I'm going to be constantly working my way up pretty much the entire time. So I think with Metapod, there's going to be a lot less filling in and a lot more just like, I guess, order stuff, because since there's so many twists and turns, there's not a lot of space for that stuff. Honestly, might just be easier to do one side and then go over and do the other one. I say that, but Metapod is 100% going to require scrolling. So it will do what's visible to me. Now I gotta go back down. Okay, and then the rest of that just gets filled in. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I just realized one thing that I did mess up is that I didn't bring my chat back. Okay, we're all good now. Just make sure this is right. Yeah, okay, that looks right. Actually, no. That was the right way. I don't know why I thought I got it wrong. Okay, and now I gotta scroll up. Where am I at? Actually, I'm right there, so I could just pretty much do it like that. At least I think so. There, that'll be fine. I am gonna have to scroll up later, but I can see most of it right now. Let's see if this connects correctly. Which it does. We're actually, believe it or not, we're already up by its eye. This is actually part of it. May as well do it really quick since it's pretty simple. And there we go, that's the eye. Okay, Now I'm going to switch sides. Okay, that's a lot of diagonal ones. I'm going to have to count that a different way. That should be on par with that. And 4 blocks away, which it is. Three, and then should be a green. Yeah, okay. And that should just follow that. I think this is like supposed to be the other eye, like you can just barely see part of it. Oops. And then that is the extent of what I can see. So I gotta scroll up just a little bit so I can see the top. And there's not much up here. Like, we're just about at the top. This is the top right here. Now we go back down. Okay, so I just want to look at it quick, but I'm pretty sure, like, the only other thing for me to do is to just fill it in. Yeah, all I do is fill it in now. If you're worried about this being super mega short, though, just wait till you see Butterfree, because I think Butterfree is deceptively large. I wonder how good Butterfree is to use in like a playthrough though. Like, I mean, obviously it's an early game bug type, but like, I know it has like, I don't know if it does in Gen 1, but I know it gets access to like Confusion and I think eventually Psychic. So like, that's gonna be like, gonna make it pretty decent. Cause I think that's something that holds Beedrill back, where it's like, it's bug poison, so it's like super weak to almost everything, and its stabs aren't exactly great. I don't even know if Beedrill probably gets like a flying move or two, but I don't think much. Well, I think Butterfree might get Quiver Dance. I know it gets Silver Wind, which is decent. I'm like jumping around like generation learn sets, like from what I like vaguely remember in my memory. Is that it? Alright, dude's done. That might be record time right there. I think that took like 8 minutes or something like that. That was crazy fast. Alright, so now we have Butterfree. So let me just switch this on over really quick. There we go. There's Butterfree, and now I can see it. So I'm going to do something here that's pretty cursed, is that I'm going to be starting in the top left corner, because the way it works is that every Pokemon, I believe, is 56 by 56 pixels, but they don't fill that entire space. Like, there's a lot of air, I like to call it, or just like completely empty spaces. So, I don't want to do it to where I just like put like the Pokemon's bottom left pixel like in the bottom left corner, because that could get messed up and like look really weird really quickly. So, I just literally copy it one for one. So, I have to figure out where exactly in the space it is, and the best way to do that is to find the closest I guess edge, and usually it's either the bottom left or bottom right, but in this case, because Butterfree has wings, it's in the top left. So yeah, this is going to be a bit jarring at first too, that this is the first stream where we're using more than one color palette. definitely won't be the last, but I just find it kind of odd in a way that Butterfree like doesn't go along with the same color scheme as the other ones. But it probably makes sense. I mean, funnily enough, in my head, I'm trying to remember what color Butterfree is, and like I know that sounds like it should be like something super simple to do. Like I think it's purple, but like I'm trying to imagine it. I just can't. So maybe this makes sense. I mean, I don't think it looks bad, so I'm just gonna choose to respect the developer's decision. Oh geez, this goes up pretty far. So this right here is Butterfree's antenna. It's like all the way black, I think, up until one right before here, and then it turns. Then it goes like that, right? Yeah. And blue's never not going to be confusing for me because the dark looks like the light, and the light is even lighter than that. Okay. Butterfree has a lot of blue on the outlines. This should be... well... that's like that. This goes out 3, that goes out 2. That goes like that. And then we got another square like that. And we got another square that goes down a lot. And that should be one away, which it is. Then there's a couple blue accents here and there. That. And like that. Cool. No, that goes like that. There's also, Butterfree features a lot of white, mainly because of its wings. How many is that? 3, 4? 4, yeah. And then like that. That lines up with that. Oops. That's like that. Cool. So, we're doing the pattern on at least one of the wings right now. Just comes all the way over here. Connected by blue. And that goes all the way across. Cool. And it's kind of crazy, but like all the rest of that is just filled in with white. We keep working our way down here. Oh, I just realized I got rid of my chat again. That's one thing that I gotta remember to bring back every time. At least it doesn't take very long to fix. Okay, so this should be 6. And then some blues and blacks, and then this should be 1 from the end. And then that should just connect up here. Perfect. Good. And then this, that's all white. And I'm gonna have to scroll soon. I'm probably gonna have to do a good amount of scrolling looking at this image because Butterfree's quite big. I could probably do a little bit of the wing detail over here before I do the... oh geez, there's a lot going on over here. Typically it's 3 and then it goes up 2. And then that. Okay. So yeah, that's the extent of what I could see there. And then it's really weird because its eye is technically like right here. Like I think this is part of the pupil, but the eye like directly like connects with one of the wings. So like it looks fine like this, but then like more white connects to this that isn't part of the eye. So alright, let's scroll down a little bit. Okay, so I did that part. Yeah, okay. Another, excuse me, we have another instance of crossing over to the other type part, which we were very much used to when working on the Venusaur line, and then, what's going on here? Okay, so this T is down 2 black, and then 1, 2, 3, and then that should be like that. Did I go down one too many here? I think I did. So I think I made like the smallest of mistakes. And then, yeah. Okay, I think we're good. I'm really glad that I chose to solve it that way, or else I feel like it could have been a bit tougher to solve. There we go. Okay. There's like a little pattern here, which I actually really like. I like it when there's like little things like these that are just like very easy to recognize and build. Oh, you know what it is? It's like nose and mouth, I guess. I don't know if that's like one thing, but that's what it is. There's also, this is like the part where like there's a lot of black, like a lot. So I want to work out like the borders of where the black is so that I could just fill that in. Because I think in a way similarly to Charizard, not only white but black are used as like kind of like primary fill-in colors with Butterfree. And these just go all the way up there. Okay. Yeah, so you can kind of see it's like eye and stuff right there. I can't wait until we get to like Gen 2 and Gen 3 where like there's so many more colors, so like the Pokemon actually look a lot more like themselves. What's right here? Oh, it's black. Okay. Okay. Three. I think that's how that goes. This part's kind of confusing. We're gonna try to connect it with the left side over here to make sure it's right. Okay. And then that connects perfectly with that. That's fantastic. And then that's all white. And then you cross over, that's all black. Okay. Put the black right there just because it's like a small gap. I really am going to try filling in until afterwards. And this is all black down here. And then it's about time to scroll again. Make sure. Okay. Yeah. And so with Butterfree, the bottom of it, like, isn't its feet. It's actually, like, its wings go past its feet. So it's gonna be a bit weird. And this all connects like that. Okay, we're looking good. Yeah, so like that is its foot, where this is the rest of the wing. Then that comes up. It's like 5. And then the rest of that's white. Okay. I'm going to scroll again because I want to work my way over to the right side now. I'll just do that across there. 1, 2, 3. Okay. This is 5. Yeah, that should be right. And that connects just like that. Cool. There's a singular light blue on the outside and then some blue on the inside. And then that connects all the way up there. Okay, cool. And the rest of that's light blue. So that's the other foot. And then if we keep going from here, we got more wing. Okay. Put some blue on the outside. And I'm gonna have to scroll again soon, but I'm gonna do as much as I can before I have to. I've always wanted to like, I've always been interested in like how people like make pixel art, and like I've always kind of like in a way wanted to like make my own, but like I feel like I could just like never like, I feel like I would try to make something that you'd see in like a Gen 5 sprite, or like maybe like, I don't know, like the portraits in Stardew Valley, and then I would just end up making something more along the lines of like a sprite from like Red and Green. But I mean, hey, like, I think a lot of the people who did the sprites on Red and Green went on to do some of the later stuff, so everybody's got to start somewhere. This light blue is like detail work. And I've done like all the, yeah, okay. I'm gonna fill this in just because, oops, that's the wrong block. It's just a small space. All right, I'm scrolling to get closer to the top. Where are we here? Okay, that's where that is. Cool. Actually, I need to go back down just a little bit because I got, what's going on here? You have these 3. Yeah, okay. And that goes up past this and connects with here and goes even past that. Like that. Okay. And then we got that. We got blue and then a bunch of black. And blue there. Right? Yes. Okay, cool. to be making our way back up into the bug background portion in a little bit here. And that connects with the main part. Okay, and the rest of, well, for the most part, the rest of this is black, but we got a hand here that I may as well do now since we're close to it. Okay, and that's the hand. And I think, yeah, the other hand was like down lower. So it's like, it's kind of crazy, but like most of this is just filled in with black, which is just insane. And then this is all white. And now we could keep working our way up. Makes these buildings a little easier. I say that and then I mess something up somewhere. If you kind of think about them like in like little 2x2s, if you're able to, that is. There's an eye right here, but I can't see the whole eye yet. Okay, and this goes for a while. Like, quite a while. It actually goes until here. Then it should be like that. Hopefully I got this right. I was gonna go to the right side and just do it that way. I think it would be a lot, like the risk of messing up would be a lot lower, but we'll see. A couple normal ones of these. Oh well. That goes 3. No, this is supposed to go 4. Okay. Oh wait, no, this is supposed to go 3. This goes 4. Okay. And then, so that is blue, okay. So there should be 3 of these that are independent. That looks correct to me. And actually I could ensure that by well, what's going on here? That's supposed to be like the, oh, because it's outlined in blue. Got it. Got it. Same thing on this side. And there's just that right there. Okay, so there's that, and then it should go down one extra one here, which it does, and then it goes down one more. Okay, cool. And all of that's white again, because this is part of the wing. And we have more blue. And it's scrolling time. Oh, geez. What am I looking at here? Okay. I'm actually slightly different approach. I'm going to go back towards the head and work on the other eye, and then I'm going to do the other antenna, because there's a lot of, like, this is going to sound kind of funny, like, you know, the full context. There's a lot of counting. And I don't want to have to count huge lines in a row, so I will do my usual method of working other places to connect it and then confirm that way. So this right here is the eye, one of them, and it's pretty big. I think I said Caterpie had one of the most detailed eyes. Well, I think that's going to immediately be taken over by Butterfree. And then there's 3 of those there. They've got a decent amount of light blue detail as well. Okay. And then this right here is actually the other antenna. I don't know how far it goes up because I can't quite see that far, but It at least does that. Okay, that's an airspace. And then where does this go? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a blue. And then 1, 2, 3, blue again, blue then black, and I can't see anymore. Okay, that's okay though. Cause then we got another one that branches out. Is that 4 or 5? It's 5. Like when there are multiple like border things in a row or multiple like pixels in a row, my mind just starts like blending them all together. It's like my brain has its own like anti-aliasing. So that's why I do the methods that I do. But I imagine that everyone who makes pixel art is different. Well, I don't want to come in here and say that I'm making pixel art. I'm recreating pixel art. Okay, then blue. And then this should connect right down, well, okay, something here's not right, because that should be like that, so somewhere I made a mistake. There's 2 here, and then it comes down 3, and then that, and then let's see. The black diagonal starts here. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's on the 5th one. Okay. So I made a small mistake, but you know what? It's not too bad. Just do that. Okay, and now I could resume from up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Is this too far out? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. It is too far out. I'm making all kinds of mistakes today. But does that line up here is the issue. This blue is supposed to line up with this. Okay, so yeah, that's correct. Okay. Okay, so that part's all good. I'm gonna have to zoom out here to the outer part of the wing. Okay. First off, I could finish off this antenna. Yep, okay, that's good. And then I was up here, that faces each other, and then that's inner. Cool. We got 4, then 4 again. And then blue. That, and that's the top of the wing. That should connect like that nicely. Then also with this. That goes like that. Perfect. And I just immediately lost my place. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're back on track already. That's 4. That's 2 right there. And it's accented by the blues on the side. Like that. And there's like a huge line there, but I'll worry about it when I get there. That does not line up, so yeah, okay, I'll have to make sure that I do that when I get there. Actually, I could, where's this? Right here, 2, 3, 4. Blue, blue, blue. That goes down there. And these all connect, just like that. I recognize this music, but I don't remember what it's from. It sounds so recent. Oh, I think it's the whatever the volcano's called in Legends Arceus. I think it's that. I had that arm way off, but and this should just be black right here. That's all good there. That's all good there. Okay, just gotta scroll down a little bit to see what we're dealing with here. That's like that. We got the blue, and then it should just connect perfectly like that. Okay. So actually at this point, that looks pretty cool. It's just filling in, which I believe I'll do the wings first, since it's just all white. I'm gonna zoom out on my picture just so I could make sure that I'm actually filling in the right spots with the right things. But yeah. Okay. So we've done a majority of the detail work. Well, actually, I think we've done all of the detail work. Which that was a lot, but it was somehow a lot easier to follow than Blastoise. Because like I said with Blastoise when I was doing it, I just like I was getting confused. I was zoning out. It was weird. But Butterfree hasn't been too bad, and it's gonna end up looking hopefully really cool. Unfortunately, we're not getting to like another one of like one of my like really liked Pokemon for a while. I think the next one that we're probably getting to that I like super like is the Poliwag line, which I think is like in the 60s or something. I don't remember exactly, but then after that it should start to pick up, because I really like the Magnemite line, and that's I think in the 80s, and then the Ghastly line, which I think is in the 90s. So, and then the Horsey line, the Eevee line. I'm doing the wrong color here. My brain completely on autopilot, and I realized what I was doing. I realized that it did not look right. Well, I guess I'm doing the face now, even though I said I'd do all the wings first, but that's seems like a common trend for me. And this, yep, this just keeps going. That's actually right there. That's one of the feet. Okay, yeah, the other foot's right there. I just want to make sure I'm still in the section I should be. It'd be interesting by the end of this, which I think Minecraft does have a command for this. I would like to see which color, which colors use the most. Because with this, it should be pretty easy, because like in later ones, we're going to be switching between like wool and terracotta and all that stuff a lot. But with this, it's just basically going to be, I mean, like we're still switching between terracotta and concrete a little bit, although not a lot. But the total amount of like different blocks that are going to be used is probably not going to be that big of a number. So it'd be cool. I think the obvious front runners are black and white, since they're going to be the borders of, I think, literally every Pokemon. But at the same time, it might be good to consider like what type is the most abundant, and like, you know, does that type match the, like, do they have the same color palette as each other? Because like I know Kanto has a lot of poison types, so it's like it'd make you think, oh well, it probably has like a lot of purples or whatever. But it's like, well, like the Bulbasaur line, it's part poison, but it uses green. But I don't know. The Grimer line is poison and it uses blue. I actually don't know if it uses blue. It probably doesn't, but so it's gonna be interesting. But I'm super excited to see what this looks like. Is that part of the wing? Yeah, okay. There's like small little parts of the wing here, but also one of the feet is like right here, so I didn't want to mess that up. Here we go, and then the feet. And I'm doing the wrong one again. Foot is up here, so I'm gonna do this first so that I don't have to use light blue anymore. Okay, and that's all the light blue. Okay. And I think we're also done with black, maybe? So it should just be white from here on out. Right? Yeah, okay. Cool. And also, when I did the lights, it was the first time I made a backup of this world, which is something I probably should have done earlier, but I'm like, I wasn't too worried about it, because I'm like, well, what's gonna happen? But then, like, when I went to do the lights, I actually almost messed up, when using the fill command, and I almost accidentally, I think, completely filled, like, the layer under. I'll show it off really quick. So, the way the lights are is that they're technically blocks that are sitting above everything, but you can only see them if you take it out. So, I had to fill it on whatever this, like, block is, which I think it's, like, technically, like, 61. I'll give this a second to disappear. So, yeah, so what is it? The target, yeah, okay, so this is negative 61. And I accidentally set it so that it was doing 61 and I think 60? I think? And if that happened, if it did 61 and 60, it would have completely overwritten this layer, which would have meant that the borders would have gone away, but more importantly, the Pokemon themselves would have gone away. Which would have erased, well, a couple hours of work. But thankfully, I think it failed because it was like too many blocks to fill in, which I'm happy for that accident, I guess. But I mean, if the worst case scenario did happen and I did accidentally delete some of the Pokemon sprites, because this is before I did the backup, that's actually what made me want to do the backup, so what I would do in that situation is I would just remake the Pokemon off stream. And then it'd be a funny story to tell. But either way, that's Butterfree. I know, like, that spot right there looks a little awkward, but it's an air spot. There's nothing there. So, honestly, I think Butterfree looks pretty cool. It looks, like I said, a little weird right next to Caterpie and Metapod, since it looks like it's part of a different evolution line with its color, but that's probably something we'll get used to. And it would have just felt wrong to, like, I guess, take liberties into my own hand and do it myself, or like, I guess, make it green. because that's not what it looks like, and I want to recreate these one for one. Either way, though, that's the entirety of the Caterpie line. Like I said, I knew that this was probably going to be a pretty short stream, but that's okay. I will almost certainly be back next week to do the Weedle line, which that one might also be pretty short. I know not Metapod, Kakuna is a bit more detailed, I guess. So we'll just have to see how that goes. And I'm not sure how big Beedrill Sprite is off the top of my head. But either way, though, I'm pretty excited for that. Thank you all for tuning in. And also, thank you all to the people who watched the VOD. One of the reasons that I make sure that VODs are watchable is because I want people to, you know, however far in the future, to like have this catalog of things if they want to watch or just listen to it. Because I do that myself with other YouTubers and stuff. So I figured hopefully I could kind of repay the favor in that way. I don't think there's anything else I want to mention. So thank you all so much for watching again. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the VODs, and I hope to see you again soon.